A man stood outside Billie Eilish's window, just staring.
The Billie Eilish North American tour is off to a rocky start in South Florida.
Sent a voice message to Swift's Instagram account.
One man broke into Taylor Swift's home 3 separate times. A man sent Bella Hadid death threats, then showed up at her apartment door. An Oscar winner hid in her closet while a man with a machine gun roamed her hallways. These aren't movie scripts. These are real celebrity stalker stories. And every one of these stalkers ended up humiliated, exposed, or dragged out by police in the most embarrassing ways imaginable. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why some people should have just stayed home and bought the poster instead.
Now the 21-year-old has filed a restraining order against the man for, quote,
Billie Eilish is only 23 years old, and she's had to file restraining orders against at least 4 different stalkers. 4.
In the 900 block of North Avenue 57 in Highland Park.
John Hurl, who went by the name Adam Lucifer, already a red flag, camped outside a school across from her family's home for 6 months. He made throat-slitting gestures when he saw her and left threatening letters. 5-year restraining order.
Things fall apart.
Pernell Rousseau showed up at her parents' house repeatedly in 2020, refusing to leave. 3-year restraining order. Christopher Anderson broke into her family's home 5 times between December 2022 and January 2023. He jumped fences, left notes, professed his love, and was finally arrested inside the house for burglary. Restraining order.
Let's go, Maggie, here.
And in February 2023, Raymond Black was found using Billie's outdoor shower. The man stripped naked at her property. When Billie turned on her living room lights that night, she saw him standing outside her window, staring. Police arrested him blocks away, restraining order, but fans thought a restraining order couldn't do much. This guy has a YouTube account documenting his visits to her family's home. I'm not sure how much of a deterrent a restraining order is against crazy.
Anderson has been ordered to stay away from Eilish.
4 stalkers, 4 arrests, 4 restraining orders. And Billie was barely out of her teens when most of this happened. She wrote in court documents, "I worry that someday one of these individuals will do something violent or extremely disturbing to me, or one of my family members. I no longer feel safe returning to my childhood home." A Grammy-winning artist can't visit her own parents because of obsessed fans. That's not love. That's imprisonment with extra steps. One fan wrote under one of Billie's invasive paparazzi videos, "You can see she doesn't want to be bothered. Why would you still follow her? That's disrespectful." But if you think Billie's situation was bad, wait until you hear what happened to the supermodel whose stalker didn't just message her. He tracked her down and showed up right at her front door. In early 2018, supermodel Bella Hadid started receiving Instagram DMs from a man named Brian Perez. They weren't fan messages, they were threats. For 2 months straight, Perez sent, quote, numerous unwanted threatening messages to Bella and her family, including explicit threats of harm. Then he posted a photo of her apartment building to his social media. On February 7th, 2018, he messaged her, "You want me to come? I'm going to come there now." And he did. Bella spotted Perez loitering outside her Manhattan apartment and immediately called police. When officers arrived, her security team had already followed him several blocks. He was arrested on East Houston Street and charged with aggravated harassment and stalking. Here's the kicker. Perez had been arrested 12 times before for charges including sales, drunk driving, and criminal mischief. Prosecutors offered him a plea deal. Plead guilty, get time served. Stay away from Bella forever. Simple. When it was revealed, one fan thought it was indeed terrifying. This is so scary. One other fan thought stalkers were the reason it could be a bad thing to be famous. This is literally the reason why being famous sucks.
A Bronx man who allegedly stalked model Bella Hadid was arrested Thursday in Lower Manhattan.
He rejected it because he thought the case would be dismissed. It wasn't. Bella got her restraining order. Perez got humiliated in court. And the internet learned that sliding into DMs can land you in handcuffs. And if Bella's stalker lurking outside her apartment freaked you out, just wait. The next celebrity had stalkers break into her home multiple times, like it was a revolving door. Taylor Swift might be the most stalked celebrity in modern history. I'm not exaggerating. The number of restraining orders she's had to file is genuinely alarming. Her Tribeca apartment in New York has seen more unwanted visitors than a haunted house. In 2018, Eric Swarbrick was arrested after sending Taylor over 40 letters and emails, some threatening to harm both her and himself if she didn't respond. He drove from his home in Texas to her apartment in New York multiple times.
Just last year, he was arrested for breaking into her apartment, taking a shower, and then falling asleep.
In 2019, Roger Alvarado broke into her Tribeca townhouse not once, but twice. The first time, he climbed a ladder and entered through a window. After being arrested and released, he came back and did it again. He was sentenced to 6 months in jail. When he got out, he was arrested a third time for violating his restraining order. Having a stalker is not fun. But another only thought Taylor Swift fans would have done the job of the police already. I'm surprised the army of Swifties isn't attacking him like a swarm of changing from MLP. Taylor has had so many stalkers that she reportedly uses facial recognition technology at her concerts to identify known stalkers in the crowd. She has so many stalkers that she needs facial recognition software to keep track of them all. The pop icon has spoken about living in constant fear, having to scan crowds for threats, and never feeling truly safe even in her own home. Fame has a cost, and for Taylor, that cost is her peace of mind. But Taylor's endless line of stalkers is nothing compared to the nightmare that made an Oscar-winning actress hide in her own closet as a man wandered through her home.
Someone's broken into my house. I'm hiding in the closet. And yes, they are. I just saw them walk up to the attic. I have a man or woman.
This one will give you the chills. June 2014. Academy Award winner Sandra Bullock is home alone in her Los Angeles mansion around 1 a.m. when she turns on her bedroom light and sees a man in dark clothing walking past her door, inside her house.
Ms. Siegel, that works for you. Corbett's ordered back 8:30, bail unchanged. Thank you.
Sandra didn't confront him. She didn't run. She quietly closed and locked her bedroom door, then called 911 while hiding in her closet. "Someone broke into my house," she whispered to the operator. "I'm hiding in the closet. I just saw them walk up into the attic."
Sandra, they stored in my bedroom, and I've locked it, and I've locked in the closet right now.
The man was Joshua Corbett, 39 years old, who had jumped her fence, forced open a sunroom door, and was now wandering through her home. But here's what makes this terrifying. When police searched Corbett's home, they found a multiple other and a notebook with handwritten entries about Sandra, including the phrase, "I will forever be thinking of you and loving you." He'd been planning this for months.
It was the one night that our nanny goes, "Let me just take him to my apartment."
Sandra later testified in court, saying through tears, "I feel like I'm being chased by someone who is going to end up me."
Say Joshua James Corbett was inside and that he screamed.
Corbett was convicted of stalking and first-degree residential burglary. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but was released early. In 2018, he died by suicide during a police standoff at his home. Some people were relieved. He is a ticking time bomb, and she is so lucky to be safe. This is the kind of guy who will end up murdering someone just because he can't have them. Better lock him up until he grows up and gets the help he needs. This case shows exactly how dangerous stalking can become. It's not just creepy. It's potentially deadly. Now, let's move to a case with a slightly happier humiliation. Imagine this. You're Hugh Jackman. You're literally Wolverine. You wake up early on a Saturday morning in 2013, hit the gym in New York City's West Village, and you're just trying to get a pump in before your day starts. Then a woman bursts past security, crying, sobbing, screaming, "I love you," while chasing you around the Gotham gym. And she's holding an electric razor, filled with her own pubic hair. I wish I was making this up. Catherine Thurston, 47 years old, had been stalking Jackman for months. She'd followed him to a concert in San Francisco the year before, and was already on probation for that incident when she decided to escalate things to whatever this was. She cornered Jackman, threw the razor at him, and screamed that they were, quote, meant to be together. Gym staff physically removed her, while Jackman reportedly told her, "Do not touch me."
I'm all good. I'm all there, all good.
The NYPD crime scene unit had to collect the razor as evidence and match the hairs to her DNA. Yes, that was someone's actual job that day. Thurston was arrested blocks away and charged with stalking, menacing, harassment, and criminal possession of a weapon, the razor. They called the razor a weapon. I mean, fair, but how can someone attack a nice guy like Hugh? a fan comments.
Me, the primary concern is my family, obviously. You know, he's a woman who obviously needs help, so I just hope she...
And you know what Jackman said afterward? Here's a woman who obviously needs help, so I just hope she gets the help she needs. The man had pubic hair thrown at him and responded with compassion. That's the most Wolverine thing I've ever heard. But if you thought chasing Hugh Jackman around a gym with pubic hair was bizarre, the next celebrity walked into her home to find a total stranger who had made himself a little too comfortable.
This is a 16-room home. It's on a riverside.
In September 2011, a 36-year-old man named Daniel Bedard broke into Celine Dion's mansion near Montreal. Now, breaking into a celebrity's home is already audacious. But Daniel had a plan. First, he found an unlocked car in her driveway and grabbed the garage door opener inside. Rookie mistake by her security team, but whatever. Then he entered the house. Did he steal jewelry? No. Did he go looking for memorabilia? Nope. Did he take any valuables whatsoever? Not a single thing.
A man broke into Celine Dion's home and stole some pastries out of her fridge.
This man raided Celine Dion's refrigerator, ate some pastries, and then walked upstairs to draw himself a nice, warm bath. Picture this, a grown man breaking into one of the most famous singers in the world's home. And his master plan is snacks and self-care.
Trained canine unit. Fence or no fence, this dog was catching the bad guy.
When police arrived with a K9 unit after the alarm went off, they found him coming down the staircase asking, "Hey guys, what are you doing here?" "Sir, what are you doing here?" Bedard was charged with breaking and entering, auto theft, and property damage. Celine and her husband weren't home at the time, which is probably for the best, because I don't think anyone's heart would go on after witnessing that. Celine Dion put the home up for sale, and fans all had similar reactions of delight, like this comment: "Such a beautiful home. Best wishes for Celine Dion and her health issues." Speaking of home invasions, the next story involves not one, but two intruders in the same week.
Keanu Reeves' place. Now, he's here right now because we see this motorcycle was outside for the last 2 days. He just has it in now.
Keanu Reeves is literally the nicest person in Hollywood. He gives up his subway seat for strangers. He took pay cuts so crew members could keep their jobs. The man is a saint. So naturally, the universe tested him with 2 home intruders in 3 days. September 2014. Keanu is sleeping peacefully in his Hollywood Hills home at 4 a.m. when he hears sounds coming from his library. Yes, Keanu Reeves has a library, because of course he does. He gets up, walks in, and finds a woman in her mid-40s just sitting in his chair, silent, staring. Now, most people would scream, call security, panic. Not Keanu. He calmly approached her and started a conversation. She told him she was there to meet him. He nodded, called 911 without alerting her, and waited for police like he was ordering coffee. The woman was taken into custody and sent for psychiatric evaluation.
How are you, Keanu? Good to see you.
But here's where it gets insane. 3 days later, while Keanu was out of town, his cleaning crew arrived to find another woman at his house. This one had let herself in through an unlocked door, stripped completely, taken a shower in his bathroom, and was now casually swimming in his pool.
Puppies.
The cleaning crew called Keanu, who called 911 again. She was also taken for a psych evaluation. When asked about it later on Reddit, Keanu admitted, "Yeah, I guess my security wasn't good enough. It's better now. And, it was really scary." The man who plays John Wick was scared. Let that sink in. And fans think no one deserves privacy more than Keanu. What a nice man that says hello, but can he have some privacy? Everybody deserves privacy, especially him. And one other fan thinks the world does not deserve Keanu Reeves. Keanu is the goth marshmallow the world doesn't deserve. But the 2 intruders who tested Keanu Reeves are nothing compared to what landed on the doorstep of the next supermodel, a letter referencing suicide. And speaking of terrifying, subscribe now or you might be stalked next. The next story involves death threats and whole lot more. Supermodel Cara Delevingne has dealt with multiple stalkers, but one case in 2022 was so disturbing, it made international headlines. A man traveled from Switzerland to England just to leave something in her mailbox. What was it? A love letter? A gift? No. A long, rambling, semi-coherent handwritten letter containing references to unaliving her and himself. Oh, and he also left a mood ring with another letter curled up inside it. And a diary. Just casually dropped off his entire mental breakdown at her front door, like it was fan mail. But he wasn't done. This same man then flew to Los Angeles and showed up at her property there. Her security team caught him on camera trying to access her home. They called LAPD immediately. When police arrived, the man was, quote, exhibiting signs of apparent mental illness and openly admitted to stalking Cara.
At that point, you know, there was a lot of people who were very worried, understandably so. I wasn't really worried though.
She filed for a restraining order, writing in court documents, "The aggressive and harassing conduct are extremely distressing and are causing me constant anxiety and emotional distress." The restraining order also covered her sisters, Poppy and Chloe. Because when someone references such despicable things, you protect the whole family.
Cara.
Hi guys.
What's going on?
And this wasn't even her first stalker. In 2019, another man was caught on her security cameras creeping around her $2 million LA mansion. A third man, named Cedric Ruemker, was arrested for jumping her fence that same year. 3 stalkers, 1 supermodel, 0 chill from any of them. Yet, Cara remained the loving person she's always been, and everyone loved her for it. I have to say that Cara is the funniest model ever. Her voice is funny. Love her. Another one commented, "Cara is something else. A true person. She doesn't want to prove something not like other models. She's genuine. She's free. She is not bothered by what other people may think." And if that highly disturbing letter shook you, the next celebrity had a stalker who just wouldn't leave.
That's his house right there, and we're on
Zac Efron went from high school musical heartthrob to stalker magnet real quick. In 2012, a woman showed up at his Los Angeles home and refused to leave. Security had to physically remove her from the property, but she came back again and again for weeks. She kept showing up, leaving notes, trying to get onto the property through any means necessary.
His former life and then the life that he falls into where he can't.
The situation escalated to the point where Efron had to hire additional security and beef up surveillance around his property. He filed for a restraining order, which was granted. But Efron's stalker troubles didn't end there. In 2014, another woman made headlines for repeatedly trying to contact him through his management, claiming they were in a relationship. Spoiler alert, they weren't.
Sorry. How is he coping? He's a wonderful guy and he is super strong.
The actor has spoken about how difficult it is to balance being a public figure with maintaining any sense of privacy. He's had to move multiple times and constantly update his security protocols. The price of fame? Sometimes it's your peace of mind. Yet Zac would never lack genuine admiration from fans, and this message struck out when his illness was announced. God bless you, Zac. May you have a quick healing. But Zac's repeat visitor is nothing compared to the final story, where one stalker tried to board an A-lister's private jet.
Morning, accused of harassing both her and her family and going to extremes to try and meet.
Jennifer Lawrence is one of the biggest names in Hollywood, Oscar winner, box office queen, and apparently a stalker magnet.
She was like, pilots, pilots, pilots.
And then he freaked me out. He was like, they're focusing. I was like, what are they focusing on?
Yeah.
In 2017, a man was arrested after attempting to board Jennifer Lawrence's private jet. Let me say that again. This man thought he could just casually stroll onto an A-list celebrity's private aircraft. The man had been following her movements and showed up at the airport thinking he could just hop on. Security caught him before he could get anywhere close, and he was promptly arrested for trespassing.
I'm nervous. I'm very nervous.
Why?
I always get nervous.
But this wasn't Jennifer's only stalker encounter. In 2019, another man was charged with stalking her after showing up at her home and her parents' home in Kentucky. He traveled across state lines to find her family. This guy tracked down not just Jennifer, but her mom and dad too. Fans remained loyal. Jennifer is so amazing she'll deal with it just fine. I'm sure it shook her up a bit, but she'll be fine. No one hurts my Jennifer. Jennifer obtained restraining orders against both men. She's since spoken about how the iCloud hack in 2014 and these stalking incidents have fundamentally changed how she views her privacy and security. The girl from Kentucky who just wanted to perform needs a security detail everywhere she goes. From pubic hair razors to bathtub break-ins, from library lurkers to life-threatening letters, these stalkers thought they'd get close to fame. Instead, they got restraining orders, psych evaluations, and permanent spots on the internet as cautionary tales. The lesson? Admire celebrities from a distance. Buy the concert ticket, stream the music, but leave their houses alone. Now go watch the next video. It's way less illegal than everything you just heard.